And I wanted to bring out the pain that I experienced in that sculpture. And I don't know if it's now a crime to be as a man to associate myself with the pain of a woman.
That's a profound statement. It is. It's a very profound statement to say.
I could easily walk away and say, no, that's a woman. It's fine. But it was so in your face, the kind of thing that she went through. And luckily I suffered a chunk of the apartheid system where I also had to eat with dogs and sit at the back of buses and stuff. And I still see it in this new South Africa where whites would drive around black people at the back. Some people would brush it off and say maybe they are dirty or something, but to me it's inhuman. And I identify with that. And I would sometimes get myself into trouble for go and question the person. But the problem is sometimes that am I going to walk away and turn a blind eye? Because it's not my business. I would only wake up when they called me or not, then it's closer. Something like that.
It fascinated me when I looked at the material and how it is, where it is linking, and it looked like scars.
Wow.
That fascinated me. I felt the pain because the metal is like a little bit of metal and then a scar, and the scar is like it was scars all over her body. And I wanted to ask you that when you engage with that material, is it something that hit you, or it's the meaning that whoever views can make out of it?
I think when I start a sculpture, then I dedicate myself to where in the space where I'm now going to create. So then this anger comes to me. It is necessary now to deal with this with the sculpture.
Yeah.
But also to keep track of that we are supposed to be free now. And whatever happened now under our freedom, if it is sufficient freedom that we have. So that is the stuff that drives me to look at my materials now. I work with it and also what I want to portray.
And what did you mean about the crown and the some 2 pence, 1 pence?
That was a monetary exercise.
Yeah.
That actually drove this Mr. Dunlop.
Yes.
to take her to Europe, because there was already a well-established circus
market
for this type of people. And the other thing was that came out in other discussions was it was almost an accolade because they found a dope certificate.
Oh, that certificate, yes, yeah.
In a church somewhere in England, as if she was respected as a human being. But to me, it was merely something to perpetrate this crime further. It was just another
to license it.
To license it, because it was now banned in Britain. So they got a hold of this document in order to carry on with this kind of thing. And when it was completely banned, then they rushed over to France. So this dope seal thing was not really to show that there was some kind of
Dignity.
dignity being thrown at a. So you have the sculpture. And I think
The chain?
the chains
Yes.
are open
Okay.
because we want to set her free,
Okay.
as we want to set ourselves free. Yeah, it is quite a heavy thing for me to deal with, but after South Africa became a free democratic society, things has not really changed for people like me that were different. Things are still the same. People are still careful when I go into shops. Doors get locked. That is, I get used to that kind of stuff.
On a personal level, I mean, I can imagine the degree of pain. I mean, that you get. I mean, you experience these things on a personal level. It's not something that is removed from you. It's something that you
I
experience.
have to carry this. It's like a life sentence that I got.
But you know what is amazing is that as you speak, your narrative almost fades into the similar narrative that the RMF has.
I feel that we don't really differ.
Yes.
There are much. We
Yeah.
got so much in common. There was just some kind of misdirection.
So it brings me to this whole idea that can you say the sculpture, a sculpture exist by itself, meaning you don't necessarily have to advocate for it. Now that the sculpture is there, the sculpture can exist in its own right, become a sculpture, and be interpreted and reinterpreted in different ways without you having to interject or without you having to clarify. Meaning, I'm talking about the death of the author now. Now that the author is no longer there, we can now interpret the sculpture differently.
Give your meaning.
So can you separate yourself, even though you are the creator, or can you separate yourself from the sculpture? Do you think there's a necessity for you to, come and defend if you need to defend, come and clarify if you need to come and clarify? Can you be that dead author to the sculpture?
I wish I would never have this opportunity to discuss. When I started on this body of works, long time ago, 27 years ago, my feeling was that the system of apartheid will never end. But I need to say something to the next generations after me, because I was convinced that I would never survive to tell the story. So I would give as much information into the works. But now, the thing is, I must now explain. Yeah.
Wow.
We appreciate your time, and you are not the dead author, you are the author.